The Champions League quarterfinals are finally here, so it's only right that I make my predictions on it. And trust me, there's gonna be a lot of upsets in this video because I am bold. Let's start this off with the game between two underdogs, Benfica versus Inter Milan. It's crazy to think about that one of these teams is actually gonna make the Champions League semifinals. Anyways, let's start off with Benfica, who have been on fire this season. Now, despite losing to rivals FC Porto in the Portuguese League 2-1, Benfica are still leading the league by a hefty margin and will probably end up winning Liga NOS. Not only that, Benfica have been on smoke in the Champions League. Not only did they manage to top a pretty difficult group consisting of PSG and Juventus, who are both now knocked out of the Champions League, but they also destroyed their round of 16 opponent Club Brugge 7-1 on aggregate. Benfica had a Journey Brazil scoreline against Club Brugge, bro. That's wild. Anyways, a lot of Benfica players are showing up for the club. Gonçalo Ramos managed to score 2 goals in that round of 16 game. Jean Mario is back this season and he got himself another penalty goal as well. Not only that, Ajax's star boy from many years ago, David Neres, got himself a goal as well. It seems like all the Benfica attackers are on fire recently, despite the loss to FC Porto. And I think Benfica are looking good ahead of this Champions League quarterfinal clash. Now let's move on to the other club, Inter Milan. Now Inter haven't been looking too good. Let me explain. They're 5th place in the Serie A right now, meaning they're not even in a spot to qualify for next year's Champions League. Additionally, they barely beat out Porto to even make the quarterfinals thanks to Lukaku's goal in the first leg. And speaking about Lukaku and Inter, they got a draw against a poor Juventus in the Coppa Italia, and that's only because of Lukaku's last minute penalty in which he shushed some of the racist Juventus fans after scoring. Crazy to think that we're still dealing with racism in football in 2023. Like bruh, Italian football fans, what are y'all doing? Anyways, I think the prediction for this game is pretty simple. Since Inter are in poor form, I'm gonna say Benfica are gonna win this quarterfinal tie 4-2, and Gonçalo Ramos will get 3 goals between the 2 legs. No way Benfica chokes this, right? Alright, next game we got the big one. It's Manchester City versus Bayern Munich. Oh baby, I cannot wait to watch this one. Anyways, let's start this by talking about Manchester City's talisman, Erling Haaland. He's been on fire this season with him getting 42 goals and 5 assists in 37 games. Bro has more goal contributions than games played this season. This guy is too good. Plus, just when you thought Haaland couldn't get any better, bro decided to score a bicycle kick against Southampton this weekend. What can Haaland not do for real? Now talking about Manchester City in general, they've been looking really good recently. They destroyed my club Liverpool last weekend 4-1, and then they destroyed Southampton this weekend 4-1. And with Man City keeping that title race alive against Arsenal, I think they can barely snatch it. Now moving on to Bayern Munich, they've been moving a bit mad recently. What I mean is, when they were 2nd place behind Dortmund, they fired their manager Julian Nagelsmann and hired one of the best free agent managers in football, Thomas Tuchel. Then with Thomas Tuchel's first game in charge, Bayern Munich ended up destroying Borussia Dortmund 4-2. Not to mention that Tuchel is a legendary ex-Borussia Dortmund manager. Bundesliga really loves passing around players and managers to the top dogs Bayern Munich. Maybe Bundesliga really is the Farmers League. Anyways, ever since Thomas Tuchel took charge, they've been doing fairly well, like beating Borussia Dortmund and beating Freiburg in the league 1-0, despite losing to them in the DFB Pokal Cup quarterfinal. So basically, it does seem like Thomas Tuchel managing Bayern Munich could work out in the end. I mean, he's doing pretty well so far, and he's also won the Champions League before with Chelsea, so he has that winning experience that is so valuable to winning more Champions Leagues. Now, who's gonna win this quarterfinal clash? Man City or Bayern Munich? Here's what I think is gonna happen. The first leg, Manchester City will win at home 2-1, with Erling Haaland bagging himself a brace. However, in the second leg, Bayern Munich will come alive, and Joshua Kimmich and Choupo-Moting are gonna get the goals to beat Man City 2-0, and Bayern Munich will win the game overall 3-2. Man City always find a way to choke the Champions League, so it only makes sense that they'll do it against one of the best clubs in Europe right now. Sorry City fans, maybe you guys will win the Champions League next season. Yeah, who am I kidding? Y'all are never winning it. Alright, moving on to the next game, we got the clash of Italian giants, AC Milan versus Napoli. However, real quick, if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it and it helps me out a lot, so thank you. Anyways, let's start this off by talking about Napoli because they've been having an amazing season so far. They're 1st place in the Serie A and it doesn't seem like that's going to change anytime soon. They have so many players that are playing well, like Victor Osimhen, who has 25 goals and 5 assists in 29 games, and also Ivica Kvaratskhelia, who came out of nowhere and is absolutely terrorizing defenders in the Serie A and in the Champions League. Additionally, Napoli managed to top a pretty decent Champions League group consisting of Liverpool, Ajax, and Rangers, and easily beat Eintracht Frankfurt in the round 16 5-0 on aggregate, with Osimhen scoring 3 goals between the 2 ties. Napoli have been doing so well that a lot of people think that Napoli could be the dark horses to win the Champions League, and I thought so too until very recently. That's because in the Serie A, in the Diego Maradona Stadium, Napoli got destroyed 4-0 by AC Milan, their opponents in the quarterfinal. That's right, AC Milan, who are currently 4th place in the Serie A and barely beat Tottenham to make it to the quarterfinals, managed to absolutely rip apart this on-fire Napoli team. Because of this Napoli loss, my whole vision for the Champions League has completely changed, and that's why surprisingly I have a major upset in this quarterfinal quarterfinal tie. I think AC Milan will beat Napoli at the San Siro 2-0 with goals from Giroud and Leao. And then in the second leg, the game will end in a 1-1 draw, meaning that AC Milan will go through to the semifinals 3-1 on aggregate. Yeah, I told you guys I was gonna have upsets in my predictions. I didn't lie. Now last but not least, we got another huge quarterfinal game between Real Madrid and Chelsea. Let's talk about Real Madrid first, who are having themselves a decent season. I mean, they're second place behind FC Barcelona by a good amount of points, which is something I know Madrid fans hate to see. However, Real Madrid have still had some joy this season, because after going down 1-0 to Barcelona in the first leg of the Copa del Rey semifinals, they went to the Camp Nou and destroyed Barcelona 4-0, with Karim Benzema bagging a hat-trick, being the first player to score a hat-trick at the Camp Nou as a Real Madrid player since Puskás in 1963. Additionally, his form ever since the World Cup ended has been spectacular, because in 19 games since then, he's gotten 19 goals. It does seem like Benzema is back to his best. Not only that, Real Madrid cooked my club Liverpool 6-2 in the Champions League round of 16, and statistically, Liverpool are a better team than Chelsea this season since they're lower than Liverpool in the Premier League table. So who says Madrid aren't gonna cook Chelsea as well? Now going over to Chelsea, they're just in the mud. Despite signing upcoming superstars to their team like João Felix, Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, Madueke, etc., they're still rubbish. They lost 2-0 to Aston Villa recently and Graham Potter finally got sacked. Then they brought in Frank Lampard to take over the team until the end of the season, and then in Lampard's first game in charge, Chelsea lost to Wolves 1-0. So even though I love upsets, I cannot just say Chelsea are gonna beat Real Madrid. That would pretty much be haram, bruh. Also, Real Madrid fans, don't worry, I've finally seen the light. They are just too good. That Champions League winning experience matters a lot, and Real Madrid have plenty of that. Therefore, I think in the first leg, Real Madrid will slap up Chelsea 3-0 with a brace from Benzema and a goal from Vinicius. And then in the second leg, Real Madrid will win 2-1, meaning that Madrid will go to the semifinals 5-1 on aggregate. It's a pretty big scoreline, I know, but Chelsea suck, and Real Madrid don't, so I'm gonna have to go for a big one here. Anyways, let me know your Champions League predictions in the comments down below. I would love to know what you guys think, and also remember to subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Also, if you want to learn more about one of Real Madrid's most talented players ever, Mesut Ozil, you definitely want to check out this video I made on him. You won't regret it.